Hey, I got some spare time today, and while I'm waiting on tooling, I went back and done something you've seen me do before, but I've done a few videos on it and went ahead and made one. Because I had already bought it, had in stock a MCLNR holder for 432 inserts from Kennametal. So this morning I run down to the shop and I had got a new Inco milling cutter for dovetails, and I milled it out and dovetailed it and put it on. So I'm going to post this video this afternoon, just showing you, something you've already seen, but to see how it looks on the new lathe, a couple of new tricks I tried with it, and some other stuff. And this is another thing, if somebody else would like to modify their own tools, this is just to show you how I go about it in a different way and how this one looks. So, enjoy. Okay, what we're going to do today is, you've seen this trick before. Since I'm waiting on tooling for my Grizzly, I'm gonna go ahead and wait and get the Grizzly set up. I bought this tool holder earlier, and so what I'm gonna do is go ahead and make me a dovetail setup for this one, and go ahead and get started on it this morning. And so I'll have one. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do a few clips of what I'm doing. I mean, you've seen me do this before, nothing great big, but I'm wanting to kind of do this for the Grizzly. And while I'm waiting, so I done got the, you've seen this milling cutter before, I know, me use it. Whoa. I'm a little happy. So, what I'm going to do is just kind of table. I want to see kind of where I'm at. That'll work. Now let me table lock. And let me get it set up tonight. Take this and here. Snares and roebucks. I'm going to basically do this like I do everything else. I've got one I'm laying here. I'm going to lay it on the Grizzly base. And basically just mill this out. Bring you back after I get some done. I'm not going to bore you with all of it. Okay, we're back. I've got it down. The block I'm using is mic at about 417 depth, and right now we're at 370. So if I go down about 30 thou. And that should leave me a little bit. That should get me within 15, 16 thousandths. And I'm gonna sneak up on it, obviously. And that's a little like that. 417, and I'm going to try to hit it as close to 417 as I can. You want this as close as possible. Now we're right on 400 right there. Let me do something before I go any further. I've got stuff in a mess. I can't find my usual stuff, so I mean, it's half round to work. I want to make sure that there's no burr on the top. We'll mark it again, check it again, and then we'll put in what we need. We'll re-zero it. There's about 1,000th burr on that, so. Okay, so we need about, so I'm thinking I'm going to mark it again and make sure that it says 17, and I'm going to go for it. I mean, we could be at, that's 19. Depends on where you check it at here. About 18 to 19, 18 half 19 thou, okay? We'll reset it. Release it, and we will go down. Well, hang on. We'll go down about 18 thou. We'll go up a little bit, because I have some slack in it. I'd rather come back and move it 1,000th or two. It'll be way too deep. But then, you know, if you fill 1,000 or so, it'll probably be good enough. All this is, you know, you want to get this as close as you can to the right depth, because obviously this is how all this fits in. You know, this pulls up against your dovetails, and I'm using this Grizzly has a piston block, and I'm not so sure how this is going to work. So I had this tool. I bought this tool here a while back, and it's a 1-inch block. So, but the increased size of a B holder, right on it, 19. That's good. Okay, now what I'm going to do is zero right here, and we'll just work down from a minus point of view to that. So once we get back to zero, we'd be in the same spot. And we'll go ahead and set the x-axis on 0 and bring this tool in. And let's bring it up a little more. It should be, yeah, about 400 thou, and release it. See, this has got to be roughly 415, something like that. So what we're going to do is just kind of move it over. I'm not going to try to, because I'm moving off the opposite side of the tool, I'm just going to kind of eyeball the mill over close, and then we're going to, then we'll check it. We'll just stop right about there, and we'll block it and make a light cut across here. Go down about 20 thou though, and then we'll definitely mess. now. $390. So we need to go over that. Let's try that much to see. I know you can't see DRO from where I'm at. Let's see how close we are with that. About 10 more. Okay. I'm gonna try to get it exact, which is always fun. Or close. I mean, again, I want it a little fat within a thou or two is good, but you don't want to get too much off of any of this. And when you get to cutting the dovetails, when the real fun begins, that's the tedious part. The slot's fairly simple. The basic slot's the easy part. The dovetails part gets a little hairy sometimes. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly like the other. Now I'm going to cut you off, mill this a little bit, bring you back. All right, now there we go. Well, that's what we look like now. I'm going to cut this tool holder off, obviously. You've seen me do enough of these to know the routine. I picked this one up on eBay and paid a little more for it, and I've saved it just for this. Folks, in case you're wondering, I got a new milling cutter. I bought a new one from Inco to do dovetails with because I've known I was going to be making these deeper dovetails for these new holders. I was thinking I was going to make some new complete blocks, so I got me a bigger tool because that way I won't be using so much of the depth of the cutter. I'm doing one of the semi-final cuts. And one of the things I'm experimenting with and I'm liking is I brought a little bit of cooling home. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this twice. We need to take about 10, around 10, we're about 30 thousandths shallow right now. So we're going to, so what we're going to do, see, I always like to try to cut them as even as possible. So. This is the hardest part, is to get it in there. All right, we won't call that 0 because we kind of got to take a guess at it. It's when you're doing it and trying to go back and forth like that, it's really hard. So That's why you don't want to go all, you know, I'm figuring 30 thou. I'm actually only going about 20 thou, 10 per side. Just because the safety factor, not knowing exactly or how much I've took off of one side, it's hard to get this balanced. So we'll go ahead and we'll measure from right there, and then I'll adjust on this side and touch the other. I mean, I can get a set of mics as long as we're fairly close in here, we're good. We don't have to, I mean, I want it as close as I can get it, but you don't, I mean, you know, if you're within a thou or two, it'll take it. You really want them as tight as you can get them when you're doing this, but it's sort of hard to get everything in the mill where you want it. All right, I'm about 20 off. I'm about 50 right now. I need to be about 75, so we're going to go. What we'll do is we'll loosen this side up and go about 10 more to about 22 or 23. Make a cut. Measure it again. And we get it within, say, 10, we'll go to the other side and start working off of this. We're going to try to move, what we're wanting to do is kind of move it off the one side that's. Put a little coolant in there and take this brush and make sure we get all the chips and stuff out. Okay. If we're wanting about, I'll tell you, let me remeasure it while I've got the camera running. We're wanting something like 1 inch, 175 thousandths. Just over the, now I got 1/4 inch, these are not exact pins, these are 1/4 inch stainless steel rods I'm using. So it's these 2/4 inch stainless rods over the parallel. I have to crank this a little further out to get to where I can get a good measurement. So we want across the flats here is 1 inch 175. And so see, we're not touching that much. We're still about 150 right now. So what I'll bring you back. So what the process is I'm going to come over, move over about 10 thou, measure it, get it to where I'm cutting this about 160, 161, and then we'll go to the other side. Well, we got it done. There's the finished product. Now, of course, I've still got to center everything. Now, this is a 1 inch holder. It's a Kennametal. I've cut it and modded. You see me mill it. I went ahead and drilled this one, 1/4 20. I like using 1/4 20 because I got a lot of 1/4 20 stuff. I actually didn't have a threaded rod and had to thread a piece of brass right quick to make it look pretty. Now right there's my new CNM. I got a lot of CNMGs. I've got some W's too. I may buy some. We'll buy a new W holder and modify it to go on the new lathe. I've got some W's, but I've also milled them down thin, and I may just buy new ones and fix them. But there we go. I got plenty of CNMG. In fact, that's one of my new inserts that I just bought. I put on it just to see how it looks. So once we get the lathe running, we've already got us a CNMG 432 ready to rock and roll. And that's kind of my favorite thing there. It worked out real well, if you'll notice. If I get it up here, you'll notice I just drilled and tapped it. I've never tried it on these. I found out though I'm going to have to go a little bit bigger than the size, and I actually had to put it back in several times and re-mill it to fit. I've done so. I had to test fit it. So there we go. Now I don't know how it's all going to wake out when I get done, but there's the finished product.